Willkommen bei Steel Division Normandy 44. Du kommst in die Kampfgruppe mit mir und wirst leider beiden Befehlen untergeben sein. Dementsprechend mach dich auf eine harte Zeit gefasst. Wir werden als allererstes das Ausbildungslager spielen. Wie ihr seht, ich habe eigentlich schon alle Ausbildungspunkte hinter mich gebracht. Das liegt daran, dass dies ein neues Hochladen der Folge ist, in der ich die ersten 7 Ausbildungsmissionen mache. Dadurch, dass ich im Hintergrund blöderweise die Musik laufen lassen habe, die leider lizenzrechtlich geschützt ist. Dementsprechend will ich diese Folge nochmal generieren, ohne Musik quasi. Und daher gehen wir jetzt einmal durch. Ihr habt jetzt einmal das Hauptmenü gesehen. Ich werde jetzt nach und nach die Missionen durchspielen. Ich werde das Hauptmenü in der eigentlichen Folge dann wieder rausschneiden und dementsprechend einfach mit jeder neuen Mission beginnen. Ich will es euch natürlich nicht vorenthalten, daher fangen wir einfach nochmal mit dem ganzen kleinen Kram an.
Welcome to Bootcamp, Cadet. I'm your drill sergeant. In this first exercise, I'll instruct you in the ways of issuing basic move orders. But first, in Steel Division, each battle begins with a selection of the units to be deployed during the action, called a battle group. Click Next to compose your battle group.
Um zu beenden, was ich gesagt habe, ich werde, wie gesagt, jedes Video, also jedes Tutorial einmal durchspielen, das Ganze hintereinander wegschneiden, damit ihr euch jetzt nicht das Hauptmenü jedes Mal um die Ohren schlagen müsst und den Ladebildschirm, auch wenn er wie gerade relativ schnell geht. Wir steigen also jedes Mal ein mit der entsprechenden Intro-Sequenz.
This is your battle group overview. It's composed of 8 unit classes, which we will explore step by step during the bootcamp's exercises. Each category contains up to 10 slots in which you will later place a unit's pack. Only the unit's pack selected in your battle group will be available for the mission. For the purpose of this exercise, we've granted you access to the infantry class with 1 unit pack slot. Left-click on the slot to edit this class. Welcome to the showroom of the infantry class. It seems like the raw recruits are ready for the exercise. In Steel Division, units are available by pack. Packs are composed of one of several units' cards, which represent the maximum number of deployable units on the field. Notice the available airborne rifles pack. Click on the unit pack and hover values to obtain further information about the unit.
Wir sehen hier, Sie haben zwei...
Right-click or drag and drop the available airborne rifles pack on the empty slot to be able to deploy it on the field.
Danke sehr. Wir sehen hier, die Airborne Rifles haben 2 Maschinengewehre, 9 Einzelschüssige, haben ein Browning MG dabei und haben einen Antitank dabei mit einem Durchschlagsschaden von 6 auf 200 Meter. Was bedeutet, die sind jetzt natürlich besonders, es sind halt klassische Fußtruppen.
Once the airborne rifles pack is in your battle group, click back, then validate to see next how the land lies.
Ich werde demnächst einfach mal 2 oder 3 von solchen Sachen skippen, wenn sie schon vorgekommen sind.
In Steel Division, each battle begins by the deployment phase. Its purpose is to pre-position your units within the blue area, called the deployment zone, and plan your strategy before the battle begins. To position a unit on the deployment zone, click on the requisition menu to deploy it. Then click on the airborne rifles pack and left-click on the deployment zone to position the unit.
Ich wollte es doch gerade sagen.
The number on the requisition menu is your given 70 requisition points for the deployment phase. A deployed airborne rifles unit uses 1 card from the pack and 35 requisition points. Once all the unit cards have been deployed on the map, the pack disappears.
Dann verrate ich euch halt nicht meine...
Infantry units are deployed with a transport already accounted for in the card. The WC-25 truck is an unarmed transport from which the Airborne Rifles Squad disembarks to fight on the battlefield. Vehicles go faster on the road. It is advised to deploy motorized unit on road to quickly reach a strategic position. You can shift the unit's position by holding down left-click on the unit's tag, or remove it, right-click from the map to place it back to the requisition menu. Click the Launch Battle button once you have completed the deployment. Well done. The battle is launched and your deployed WC-25 is now under your control. Control the camera using the short keys. Direct it using the arrows. Rotate it by pressing the middle mouse button and the scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Zoom on a unit tag to trigger the follow camera. Your objective here is simple. You must reach the farm and disembark an Airborne Rifles squad once there. Notice on the map the road that goes straight to the farm. The quickest way to complete the objective is to give the order unload at position to your WC-25 unit at the farm. To issue your first move orders, left-click on the unit's tag to select the unit. Left-click on the unload at position order and left-click on the map to apply it, or right-click to cancel the order.
Nothing to report.
Das ist die Order. Hier würden wir das entsprechend machen. Linksklick.
I'll get you there as soon as possible.
The unload at position orders the transport units to take the fastest way using the road network and disembark their passengers at the selected position. Beware, once the unit is disembarked, the transport disappears and cannot be used again. When a unit receives an order, you can select it and press Shift to display the ongoing order in real time. You can also give multiple orders by pressing Shift. A unit can also comply with other move orders. The move order orders the units to take the straightest route to the selected position. The move fast orders a vehicle to take the quickest route, using the road network to the selected position.
As I can.
No sign of enemy units. The farm is secured. Well done, sir. Your Airborne Rifles squad is now controlling the area.
We're supposed to be surrounded.
Your first success, sir. You've learned how to compose a battle group, to deploy, apply move orders, and disembark the infantry from their transport. Good job.
So, und wir sehen uns in der nächsten Runde. Genau, was ich noch zeigen kann, ist, es gibt danach eine entsprechende, ja, Zusammenfassung, was passiert ist, wer was getötet hat, hier natürlich sehr viel und wie viel Erfahrung wir jetzt sowieso gesammelt haben. Das zeige ich euch jetzt noch kurz und wir sehen uns im nächsten Video. Bis gleich.
The second exercise will be your first contact with an enemy. I will teach you how to deal with the front line, urban cover, and firepower. Click Next to build your battle group. We have unlocked 2 unit pack slots. Left-click on a slot to edit the infantry class. The Airborne M1919 machine gun is now available. It is an infantry team with a medium machine gun. Different units in Steel Division have different equipment. This impacts their requisition points cost, role, and card availability. Learning how to distinguish each pack by hovering over their values is crucial for your success on the field. Each pack fills 1 activation points. Here you have 2 activation points maximum at your disposal. Fill your battle group to spend them all. Pick the Airborne Rifles pack and the new Airborne M1919 machine gun pack to validate your battle group.
Was ich sagen wollte, oh, wir haben jetzt Machine Guns. Nicht, dass ich das schon vorher gewusst hätte, weil ich spiele Tutorials nochmal. Und was ich in der Ende der letzten Mission meinte, natürlich nicht nächstes Video, sondern nächste Mission. Ich will sie ja zusammenschneiden.
The red front line indicates a perimeter controlled by an enemy. Army intelligence has warned us that at least 1 enemy unit is holding the farm sector. Since your units are deployed with their transport, you should not expose them that way to enemy fire. Instead, disembark them in the selected area near the farm sector, so they can close on the enemy position on foot.
Aber zuerst muss ich sie aufsetzen.
You can issue your first move orders during the deployment phase. Select the deployed unit and order unload at position and apply it. Keep in mind that your troops will comply with the order only when the battle starts. Click the Launch Battle button once you have completed your deployment.
So, da sollten sie jetzt losfahren. Mehr oder weniger freundlich und friedlich. Wir sehen, unser Maschinengewehr, das hier fährt, ist ein bisschen schneller als unsere Fußtruppen.
Notice that the front line is moving when your troops are advancing. Most of the units in Steel Division influence the front line, so it gives you a feedback on enemy strength and direction, and vice versa. We've arrived. Disembark your troops here.
We fix them, you flank them.
So. Da bewegen wir schon mal ein paar von den Jungs. Interessant, dass die Transporte einfach verschwinden. Schön wäre es natürlich, wenn die jetzt einfach zurückfahren würden.
Formed and ready. Let's liberate some ladies. Need some covering fire? Move out, men!
So. Die dürfen sich da mal drin verstecken.
This machine kills fascists. Break it down and move it out.
Da kann man irgendwie... So.
These farm buildings appear empty. They can provide good cover for your men. Move them inside. Notice the mouse's cursor color changing when you hover over map elements. The color indicates the level of protection. Yellow for light cover, and cursor green for heavy cover.
Let's go. This machine kills fascists. Crowd spotted. Check your sights.
German grenadiers are firing at us. This is the first taste of battle. These grenadiers are tough guys with their deadly light machine guns. The best way to dislodge them is to meet them with superior firepower from the cover of the farm building. Notice the unit's status gauge above the unit tag. It indicates the suppression level of a unit. When it's full, the soldiers are pinned down. Pinned down units can surrender by moving close to them. It's also a good way of neutralizing an enemy.
Wenn sie denn so lange überleben. Jetzt ist es nämlich nur noch 5. 4. 3. Ich glaube, ich werde sie wahrscheinlich eher erschießen, bevor sie komplett in Schockstarre sind. 2. 1.
Great job.
Tot.
The enemy section has been neutralized. Well done, sir. The front line is moving and is now overlaying the farm as there are no further enemies there.
Dann bis zur nächsten Tutorial.
You've learned how to use the basics of the infantry in the front line to use morale and urban cover at your advantage. Good job.
Bis gleich.
After the successful raid on the farm sector, squads on the field are asking for an ammo resupply. During this exercise, I will teach you how to capture an enemy supply unit and how to resupply. Click Next to build your battle group. Pick all available infantry packs to validate your battle group. As you can see, a new pack of infantry, the Airborne Leader, is available. Notice the white star on the unit card. This specialty icon indicates a platoon leader who improves the stats of every unit nearby and also heavily influences the front line. Most leader squads are small and too lightly equipped to engage the enemy on their own. It is also strongly advised to combine them with regular infantry squads on the field. We've got intel about unarmed Opel Blitz left in the farm sector. The squads deployed on the field can safely capture it. The road seems clear, so you will exceptionally not deploy any units on the deployment zone, but simply guide the glider rifles and the airborne M1919 machine gun on the field to capture the unarmed enemy unit in the farm sector. Click on the launch battle button.
Germans ahead! Get ready for a fight!
To capture an enemy supply unit, first make sure no other enemy unit is nearby. Then simply bring one of your units close to it, and it will automatically switch sides. The Opel Blitz is captured. This is an unarmed supply unit which can replenish any nearby units with ammunition. Capturing this type of unit is a good way to exhaust enemy units on the field. Since the glider rifles and the airborne M1919 machine gun weapons are depleted, you need to bring the squads and the supply unit to a halt together to refill their weapons.
Any orders? Yes, sir.
Wir sehen, nach und nach wird es auch wieder aufgeladen. Sicherweise ist hier kein Review oder sowas drauf. Die Glider Rifles haben ihre Munition schon.
Notice the yellow circle. It represents the supply range for units to get replenished. Now your units are once again ready to kick some ass.
Transportkommando bereit.
Und da nimmt es entsprechend ab.
German troops are flanking us and will soon surround the units in the farm sector. Units are considered surrounded once they cease to be linked to a ground reinforcement route or are not close to a platoon leader. We need to regain control over the map. We have been granted new requisition points and may deploy units from our battle group on the field to neutralize all enemy units.
So, das erste, was wir machen, wir stecken die in. Wobei, die stehen
Achtung,
schon.
Feind im Nahbereich.
Ja.
Zielkoordinaten, Kommandant.
So, ein bisschen verschieben.
We have identified an enemy platoon leader, the Grenadier Führer, along with the Grenadier infantry squads. That's why they have so easily reclaimed control of the front line. If we could neutralize the Grenadier Führer squad, its influence over both the front line and the Grenadier squad will lessen and eventually collapse.
Careful! Enemies nearby.
Und da geht das Kämpfen wieder los. Wer macht. Führer,
We need to break the surrounded units' encirclement. Luckily, the airborne M1919 machine gun is an airborne unit, as indicated by the wings on its card and tag. Airborne units are used to being surrounded, so they retain their influence on the front line the same way as platoon leaders. On the other hand, a non-airborne or non-leader unit, such as the glider rifles, once surrounded, loses its capacity to hold the front line and suffers moral penalties in enemy territory.
Where are we headed? I'll let you off at these coordinates. Need a lift?
Da haben wir den Grenadierführer und da haben wir den Grenadierführer. Der ist im Moment hier im Stockstachel.
I am in charge here.
You have deployed your airborne leader. Good choice. Once disembarked, it improves the experience level of any allied unit close to it. This up-leveling is represented by the yellow star under a unit tag. An experienced unit gets improved accuracy, shorter reload time, and stress resilience. Once your soldiers are on foot, click on the hunt order. That stance allows your soldiers to stop moving and to fire at the first enemy within range. Most of the infantry cannot shoot while in movement.
Follow me, men! Attack!
An enemy squad is pinned down and cannot move. It's a perfect opportunity to force its surrender. Make sure the unit is isolated to bring one of your own nearby. To force a unit to surrender, it needs to be covered by the opponent front line, suppressed, and with no ally unit close by. Once a unit surrenders, it leaves the battlefield raising a white flag.
Nur in dem Fall stirbt es zuerst. Wir machen jetzt erstmal hier eine Seite fertig und dann gehen wir rüber zur anderen Seite. Das MG braucht natürlich eine längere Zeit, weil es ist etwas schwerer zu tragen. Ich wollte das aber auch nicht. Da sieht man, wie die einzelnen Leute unterschiedliche Bewaffnung haben. Hier ist zum Beispiel einer mit MG, das hier sind die normalen Schützen, da ist gerade einer gestorben.
Great job! The enemy squad surrendered. They raised the white flag and will soon leave the battlefield. Good job! One enemy squad has been neutralized. You're beginning to slightly regain control over the map. Continue to deploy units on the field to swiftly get rid of the remaining enemies.
Genau, mehr Leute, ich glaube aber, wir brauchen mehr Leute mehr.
Attack formation! Form up! Let's liberate some ladies. We're paratroopers. We're supposed to be surrounded.
Jetzt versuchen wir sie mal wieder zum Aufgeben zu bewegen, bevor wir sie erschossen haben. Aber da ist auch nicht mehr so viel übrig, was man nicht erschießen kann.
Cut to pieces, sir. As you stand, sir.
Viele Leute sind da nicht mehr. Normalerweise würden sie sich jetzt zurückziehen, wäre es dann nicht.
The surrounding units are saved. Great job. You have successfully rallied them. Well done, sir. You have reclaimed control over the map. You have successfully put into practice the capture of an enemy supply unit, the resupply of your troops, and regain control of the map. During this exercise, you'll have to deal with an unknown situation, and you're being granted access to the artillery and support classes. Click Next. One unit's pack slots is available in the unlocked artillery and support classes. Don't forget to add the new units available in your battle group. Pick the usual airborne rifles card for your battle group. The unarmed Jeep supply is now available. Pick it for your battle group. The airborne mortar 60mm is now available. It is a weapon team armed with a single 60mm mortar which shoots an indirect fire at position from a distance. Pick it for your battle group. Make good use of what you've learned so far and inspect the farm area with your airborne rifles squad section. No units have been deployed. Please pick a unit in the requisition menu to position the unit.
Ja, da habe ich wohl zu schnell gestartet.
Carrying a weight, sir. I'll get you there as soon as possible.
Und den Rest des Wegs dürft ihr dann zu Fuß laufen, weil ich bin mir nicht so sicher, ob ihr durchs Feld laufen sollt.
Loud and clear. I'll get you there as soon as possible. Careful. Enemies near
Damn it, it's an MG-42. Since that machine gun is quite well protected inside that building, our boys stand no chance to fight back. Make them retreat in order to plan a better approach.
Airborne ready, sir.
Das wäre er.
Now, sir, you have three options. The first one, the safest but most time-consuming, consists of using mortar teams to kill that MG-42 from afar, thus sparing soldiers' lives. The second option, the quickest, consists of using the smoke-on position order of your mortar team to cut the line of sight of the MG-42 and conceal your infantry's advance to engage it in close-quarter combat. The third option, the most dangerous one, consists of flanking the MJ-42 with infantry squads. But be warned, it can turn into a real bloodbath.
Im Grunde genommen
An
möchte
Allied
ich...
Scouts unit has just arrived to keep an eye on the MG-42. Mortar team incoming. It is safe to keep them away from the MG-42 as they cannot directly attack an enemy. Instead, you need to take advantage of the mortar's long-range curved shot and disembark the gunners in a safe place.
Taxi ready. I'll let you off at these coordinates. What do you need, sir? Roger. On my way there.
To use an artillery unit, you need to manually use the fire on position order and point it at that house. Or right-click on the target, if seen, to directly try to kill this unit. The curved shot does not take care of ground obstacles.
Pedal to the metal. Waiting for fire coordinates. We'll reposition the guns there, sir. Ready, sir.
Keep your mortar teams away from enemy range. Move your unit to the furthest and safest position from here.
I'll get you there as soon as
Nein,
possible.
ich kann es besser. Ich weiß, was ich tue.
10 degrees up. Fire. Move fast and clear. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die.
Da kommen sie schon.
Fire in the hole! Enjoy the show!
Guns.
Your unit is under heavy stress. They are pinned and are laying down to gain protection, but at the price of their mobility. Once a squad is immobilized, it takes longer to be wiped out. Use the fallback order to force a pinned down squad to escape this dead end. In fallback stance, the squad will automatically run back to a safe position. During that time, it's impossible for you to give any other order.
Drop 200. 6 rounds. Over.
Ah, da brennt das Haus. Das heißt, da sollte nicht mehr viel übrig sein gleich.
Yes, sir. Move fast and clear.
Aber nachdem wir noch weiterhin die Mission haben, sind wir wohl immer noch dabei.
Any orders? Let's liberate some ladies. Yes, sir.
Einfach weil wir es können.
10 degrees up. Fire.
Ich vermute mal, dass es schon tot ist, aber wir können es auch töter machen.
Direct hit.
Wir sehen, auch die Häuser
Well
können
done,
Schaden
sir.
nehmen.
The MG-42 has been cut to pieces. You have successfully put into practice the combination of infantry and artillery units to regain advantage on the field. In this exercise, you will help an allied tank progress through the map by being its eyes. You're being granted access to the recon class. Click next. 1 unit's pack slots is available in the unlocked recon classes. As you can guess, a recon unit possesses a certain ability to spot and identify the enemy's position. But it has a cost. Scout are usually a very weak unit, so you cannot allow them to engage in battle. Enemies are hiding somewhere near the central road. Tanks have very poor optics, so they can easily be ambushed. You will need to spot enemy positions on a parallel road with your scout. Once your unit has located an enemy, that good old M4A1 with its firepower will automatically neutralize it. Position your men on the deployment zone. Click on the Launch Battle button when it's done, and rally your squad at the recon site on the parallel road.
Der Mann merkt nicht, dass wir schon fertig sind. Der hört sich gerne reden.
Carried away, sir. Copy that. Out. I'll let you off at these coordinates.
The front line is pretty close. You should always consider dismounting your troops before entering enemy territory.
Ich glaube, diesmal brauchen wir das nicht.
Enemies identified. It's an MG42. This one was pretty close to the tank. Recon under fire. Retreat! Their use requires patience and precision. Once you master it, you'll be able to dissect an enemy plan. Let the tank get rid of it. It is impervious to MG fire. Unlike your infantry, as you well know. As you can see, recon units don't influence the front line, so they're able to sneak up quietly into enemy territory.
Ah, da sehen wir uns das Event immer an.
MG42 identified.
Offensichtlich sind diese Menschen auch immun gegen Maschinengewehr. Nur gegen panzerbrechende Geschosse nicht.
Okay, 2 more enemy units are hiding somewhere else. Progress within the hedgerow to conceal yourself. If you hover over elements of the map, it will provide you with information on their level of protection and concealment. Yellow for light cover, green for heavy cover. While your unit is advancing, you can see the line of sight of your unit or the enemy's one by pressing the short key.
Da macht er echt einen großen Prozess mit denen. Was hat er alles da? Zwei MGs.
MG42 identified in the farm sector.
Ja, größere Mengen. Nahkampfwaffen.
One enemy left. Keep quiet.
Jetzt darf der Panzer da hinten nochmal ein wenig spielen. Viel treffen tut er da auch nicht. Vielleicht hilft es ihm, wenn er mal näher ranfährt, aber ja, ihr kennt das ja. Warum sollte man näher ranfahren, wenn man weiter weg kann? Was schön ist, hier sind immer mal wieder Querschläger zu sehen. Das haben sie recht gut
Well done,
gemacht.
sir. There's no longer any sign of an enemy presence. You understood the value of reconnaissance units on the battlefield and have mastered their use. Good job. In this exercise, you will control several types of tanks. You are being granted access to the tank and anti-tank classes of the battle group. Click Next to compose. Unit pack slots are available in the tank and anti-tank unlock classes. Tanks are powerful units, able to engage every type of ground unit. Pay attention to the armor-piercing and high explosive values of their weapons. The AP indicates the unit's ability to destroy armored units. The HE indicates its ability to damage unarmored units. More importantly, have a look at their armor. Most tanks have thick frontal armor. In combat, always try to present your thickest armor to a threat, while at the same time, if you outnumber an enemy tank, try to flank it and attack its rear or side armor. The M4A1 at your disposal are basic medium tanks, well armored and well armed, capable to handling all types of combat situations. Anti-tank units come in various calibers, hence efficiency, but are all dedicated to neutralizing enemy armors. Foot ones are usually low profile and easy to conceal to ambush enemy armors, while self-propelled ones trade concealment for mobility and some level of protection. M10A1 destroyers are armored and self-propelled anti-tank units. They are vulnerable due to their open top and weak rear and side armor, but their long-range cannon and speed makes them both very effective and annoying for the enemy to chase down. An Allied scout has been deployed to help you spot enemy tanks waiting to ambush your armors. Position your M4A1 in the deployment zone and click on the Launch Battle button when it's done.
Red 6, mounted up. Forward.
Enemy identified. It's a Panzer II Lux. That Panzer II is a lightly armored tank designed for mobility. Light tanks are often very fast and carry enough firepower to be a threat to any unit which is lighter than they are. Position your M4A1 medium tank at range to get rid of it swiftly. Notice the AP value of your main gun against the Panzer II armor.
War Daddy to Red Leader. I am listening.
Mal die Frontarmor
Target in sight.
hinstellen.
Fire.
Ja, ist natürlich genau eben. Wir sehen ihn nicht. Dann fahren wir
I
mal ein
heard
Stück
there
näher
were
ran
tigers in this area.
und haben von da aus die bessere Wahl, auf ihn zu feuern. Wir haben unsere Frontarmor entsprechend zu ihm gerichtet, daher ist uns der Rest egal. Was er uns auch immer entgegenwirft. Ja. Könnten ich schon ein paar Waffen aus- oder anmachen.
Engaging target.
Und so sieht unser Lux aus. Derzeit wohl auf dem Rückzug.
The enemy tank took too much stress and fallback. It will run back to a safe position. Use the hunt order to pursue him and neutralize it before it recovers.
Sehen noch innerhalb der Reichweite.
Good job. Panzer II looks neutralized.
Und da brennt er.
enemy identified. It is a Panzer IV-G. That Panzer is a tough guy. It's a medium tank similar to our M4A1, but it's armed with an extremely effective gun that's able to knock your isolated tank. We'll need backup to turn that situation to our advantage. Call in the other M4A1 at your disposal. Command tank works as platoon leader. Bring it close to your deployed tank to improve its stats.
I'll report to you when I'll get there.
Na gut, dann fahr halt quer durch.
Let's go, guys.
Das dauert jetzt leider einen kleinen Moment.
Roger.
Ich glaube, ich bringe jetzt nochmal da ein.
Forward.
Lege ich mal ein Stück vor. Weil hier ist er auf einmal spontan etwas schneller, weil auf Straße und so, wer hätte das erwartet? Wenn der hier sich halt noch durchs Feld muss.
Ready to take command, sir. Let's go, guys.
Das Schöne ist, sie brauchen keinen Sprit. Das Schlechte ist, es ist wahrscheinlich eher tot, als dass der Tank ausgeht.
Awaiting orders.
Oh, Besatzung außer Gefecht. Einige Sekunden lang. Das ist mal krass. Das ging schnell. Was für ein Erfahrungspunkt alles machen kann.
Sir. Beginning the attack, sir.
Okay, da wir das umgestellt haben, kann er wohl nicht viel machen. Also muss er mal ernst hin. Ah, wir haben gerade so noch den Rückzug geschafft von unseren gegnerischen Panzer. Jetzt können wir ihn Jagd geben.
Good job. Panzer IV-G neutralized.
Move out. Stay alert.
Forward.
Offensichtlich kommt von da jetzt was, deswegen stelle ich meine Panzer mal entsprechend um.
Last enemy identified. It is a Stug 3G. As you can guess from the 2 stars under its tag, this one is a battle-hardened veteran. No need to try to attack it with the M4A1. Let's bring in the M10A1 destroyer and neutralize this tank at long range. Now, place the M10A1 in range. You can bring the command M4A1 close to it to increase its precision. You can also try to use the other M4A1 tank to flank the Stug 3G. This Stug 3G has no turret, so a flanking maneuver could be pretty efficient.
Full speed.
You've lost a unit, sir. Call for reinforcements and deploy the new unit on the battlefield.
Das machen wir jetzt einfach mal.
I hear you, loud and clear. We're the cavalry. It would be bad form to arrive too early. Engaging target. Ready to blow up some tanks, sir.
Gefecht, der bleibt stehen. Der ist jetzt erstmal nur abgeprallt. Ah, jetzt ist der Fahrer geöffnet. Warten wir mal ab, bis der Stück nahe genug kommt.
Yes, sir. Targeting enemy vehicle.
Wenn dieses Dings da nicht wäre,
I
könnte man
am in
sagen,
charge here.
die Axt auch mit. Der andere Panzer fährt hier über die Straße.
Yes, sir.
Good job. Stug
Würde dann
3G
darüber fahren.
neutralized. Well done, sir. The enemy's presence has been eradicated. You've understood the use of armored units in combat. You are now ready to deal massive damage to the German pride. Great job. In this exercise, you'll learn how to defend against aircraft, and also how to use them. While on the ground, you'll learn how to call in off-map long-range artillery strikes. You're being granted access to the anti-air and air classes of the battle group. Click Next. Fill the unit pack slots available in the now unlocked artillery, anti-air, and air classes of the battle group. Don't forget. The anti-air unit's role is to protect your ground units on the battlefield. Most anti-air units serve to suppress enemy planes and force them to evacuate the area. The mobile observation post can call artillery strikes from an off-map battery. Once the mission is fired, it takes some time to strike, but it suppresses and decimates any units in its area of effect. Air units have various roles depending on their loadout. Aerial recon, such as the Grasshopper, are the only aerial units that can unveil enemies on the ground without being affected by the terrain or the front line. However, they are very fragile units. Dogfighter aircrafts, such as the P-51D Mustang, fly at a higher altitude to detect other air units and engage them in dogfights. Fighters rule the sky and are the best defense against any other planes. Ground attack aircraft, such as the P-47 Thunderbolt, can engage planes, but also isolated ground targets when loaded with bombs or rockets. But they fly more slowly and at a lower altitude, making them vulnerable to anti-air units. Bomber aircraft, such as the B-26 Marauder, are loaded with several heavy bombs. Their goal is to eradicate massive units, whatever their morale, but their size and speed make them an easy target for any fighters. The enemy has established defense positions on the map. You will need to find and dismantle them one by one. But first, Army Intel warns us about an enemy aircraft takeoff. Let's deploy and position the M16 MGMC in your deployment zone. Click on the Launch Battle button when it's done.
AA guns ready. Come on, folks.
The air raid alarm signal indicates an enemy aircraft has been spotted. It's a German Me-109G0 fighter, trying to claim air superiority. Hopefully, you have positioned your anti-air defense in time. The Me-109 is now under suppressive fire. It won't be long before it flees. Great job! The German Me-109 has evacuated. Now that we have a clear sky, bring in the Grasshopper to recon and find all of the enemy defenses on the ground.
Wir wissen nämlich, im Zweiten Weltkrieg ist niemals
Once you call in an aircraft, it places itself on the off-map assets panel. This panel lists all of your off-map assets, planes, and heavy artillery, and indicates each one's status. As you can see in the off-map assets panel, your Grasshopper is in ready stance. Select it and right-click anywhere on the map to deploy it.
Be ready. How bad is enemy AA over there?
Well done! The Grasshopper's status, once deployed, is in mission. The gauge represents its fuel tank. Once it's empty, planes automatically evacuate to resupply for a given duration before returning to the ready status. Let's not waste time. We should detect the enemy's positions before the Grasshopper needs to resupply. Good job. All enemy defenses have been spotted. It's a bloody alarm. That goddamn German Me-109 fighter came back. Try to evacuate the Grasshopper. It will cancel its ongoing mission and resupply. It's time to call in the P-51D. It's our best asset against this German fighter. Once deployed, it will automatically engage the Me-109 in a dogfight.
I've spotted the enemy. Any update? Roger, moving out.
Dazu unser Flak und alles ist gut. Und er ist
Great job.
abgeschossen.
Now we can reclaim air superiority and start the dismantlement of enemy defenses. Call back a Grasshopper and let's focus on the first enemy concentration. Ally M8 reconnaissance vehicles have just arrived to help wipe out any remaining enemies after the artillery strike.
So. Jetzt haben wir die Möglichkeit, das Artilleriefahrzeug dazu zu holen. Das machen wir mal direkt. Und wir können uns nochmal einen
For
Grasshopper holen.
GPA OP deployed. Its associated off-map battery now appears in the off-map assets panel. Next to it are listed 3 types of strikes: fire for effect, emergency, and barrage. Select the fire for effect one, the longest but most precise strike, and click on the first enemy concentration. You have a total of 3 fire missions at your disposal. Scout with the Grasshopper to target precisely, and be sure that no units are left.
Nun, ich glaube, das haben wir jetzt gerade geschafft. Wir wissen ja genau, wo sie sind.
Remember that you can increase the game speed.
So, ein paar Sekunden vorspringen und jetzt wollen wir uns das Spiel natürlich genau anschauen.
Waiting for targets. Ready to fire, sir. We're moving.
Da haben wir ein paar Scouts bekommen.
You would be blind.
Stellen wir die erste mal da drüben.
I'm on E. Bugging out. Ready for some fireworks?
Sollten wir es gleich aufgeben, nach dem, was wir wissen.
Waiting for instructions, sir.
Keep your ground unit away from enemy range. Move your unit to the furthest and safest position from here. You lost a unit, sir. Please pick a unit in the requisition panel. Well done, the first enemy defensive line has been wiped out. Keep your ground unit away from enemy range. Move your unit to the furthest and safest position from here. The best way to get rid of those isolated PAC-43 is with our P-4. Use the Grasshopper to get a clear view of the PAC-49 positions and deploy the P-47 to snipe them.
Würde
You
ich ja
lost
gerne
a
tun.
unit, sir. Please pick a unit in the requisition panel. Keep your ground unit away from enemy range. Move your unit to the furthest and safest position from here.
Target 12 o'clock low. Target spotted.
spotted.
Okay, one Pack 43 gone, and one to go. Don't waste time. Deploy another P-47. Keep your ground unit away from enemy range. Move your unit to the furthest and safest position from here.
Looking for targets. Roger.
Good job. The Pack 43 are no more. Keep your ground unit away from enemy range. Move your unit to the furthest and safest position from here. You can now deploy the B-26 Marauder bombers, or call in another off-map artillery strike, if left, on that last enemy concentration.
Eye in the sky.
Den können wir darüber schieben, dann könnten wir noch was sehen.
Standing by.
Keep your ground unit away from enemy range.
Ja, das haben wir schon.
Move your unit to the furthest and safest position from here.
Nothing will survive.
Aber dafür wollen wir
Good
jetzt
choice,
das mit dem
sir.
Bomber nehmen.
Select your B-26 and right-click on a spotted enemy target.
So langsam geht ihm ein bisschen was auf den Kies. Ständig redet er einen rein und ständig sagt er etwas, was zu tun ist. Interessanter ist jetzt, was macht dieser Bomber?
Heading back home.
Great job. The enemy position has been eradicated. Well done, sir. You have mastered the use of off-map assets. You've understood how vital it is to keep air superiority, and how to severely impact the enemy's morale and troops by using powerful off-map artillery strikes.
Und damit bis zur nächsten Folge. Tschüss!